Morning, 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 morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Franchise operator, what's up? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I am just doing a couple things here. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me for a second, y'all. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. So, I'm back at it again. I'm back at it again, y'all. So, y'all know I pushed myself to do this 50 terms in 50 days. Today is day six. Day six of my 50 terms in 50 days. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the room. Can y'all drop some hearts for me? I was told that if you drop some hearts, it spreads the word. So, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. All right, so 50 terms, 50 real estate terms in 50 days. So, I always tell people, thank you for the hearts. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see who's doing that, but thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I always explain why I'm doing this right now because I find that on my, educational line of things, people want to accomplish their 2022 real estate goals. And part of that is done by education. So I always share my story. I was 29 years old, still working as an apheresis technician in the laboratory, had no idea what I was doing in real estate, and bought my first place. And I did it by educating myself and linking up with someone else who knew what they were doing because I wasn't licensed yet and I had no clue what I was doing. And so part of it was me just educating myself, right? So I did what a lot of people who follow my teaching wing of what I do, I did what they did. I educated myself. So that's what this is all about. So 50 terms, 50 days. Today is day six, and our term for the day is list price. That's our term for today. Now, then again, these are going to be like quick 10, 15-minute segments. I am not trying to keep people here all day. It's Sunday, and I'm trying to relax today, find something to do. So this is going to be quick. So for the new folks, I'm Malika Jackson, team lead of the Jackson team with Bennett Realty Solutions. Thank you for joining our team. Appreciate you being here. We are in Largo, Maryland. We're actually all over the place because I hold an international license too. I don't know if I ever told you about that, but I hold an international license too. So we're all over the place, but we're mostly in the DMV. What's up, Kenny? I see you with the claps. Thank you very much. Been doing this 15 years, and my gift and my goal is to help as many people I can manage real estate, acquire real estate, access wealth through real estate. Okay, so I hold a business degree and I hold a information systems degree, and I always share my background because I need you to know that I know what I'm doing in these real estate streets. Okay, all right, so let's talk about list price. List price. Now I wrote the standard definition down. I'm going to read it to you. Right? Hey, my sister, your nine child. I haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you for joining. This is the official price. Super simple. It is the gross price of real estate when it's put on the market. That's it. That's all the list price is. It's like really simple. It's the price that the seller is asking for when they put the house on the market. Where it gets sticky is that people tend to ask me, well, what is the difference between your list price and your selling price? And they hear all these different terms: list price, asking price, sold price, selling price. Let me tell you the difference because it's good to know when you're out there shopping, right? So your list price is what, when a seller goes and they sit down with their listing agent, they do all of their paperwork to put the house on the market. There's a page on a place on the bottom of page 2 that says on the contract, what is your list price? That's where you put the price that you're going to start at when you put the house on the market. That's your list price. That's the same thing as your asking price. So your asking price and your list price is the same thing. Now this is the one that's different. Your sold price or your closed price is going to be different, or your selling price, they call it, is going to be different. All those terms have to do with pricing, or your sold price or your closed price or your selling price is going to be different. That's the final price because a lot can happen between the time you put this house on the market and when you put it under contract. You know what I mean? You may have to go up in price to negotiate. You may have to go down in price for a lot of things. Maybe repairs, maybe the appraisal came out low. You may have to go down on price for quite a few reasons. So there's a difference between our term of the day on day 6 of my 50 terms in 50 days, which is list price. There's also asking price, same thing. Then a little later down the road, you find out what your selling price or your sold price or your close price is going to be. So I just wanted to kind of get into that because people tend to ask me, well, what's the difference? And they see those terms and they don't know whether they're used interchangeably or not, whatever. So those are the differences. All right, so how do we find our list price? Because you got to figure out how to price your property. Strategy is a lot. And that's one thing I happen to be super good at is strategy and negotiations, right? So you do a couple things. Some sellers just know like, okay, this is what I want to sell a house for. And that's where they price it. That's what they sell it for, and that's that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Because you might have a price in your mind. That's why the consultation is important, because when I sit down with people and I'm going to sell their houses, we do a consultation first. Because number one, I need you to think about whether you really need to sell or whether you really want to sell. Because when you're selling a property, like I always say, you're giving up your bank. You're giving away your bank for a fee. You can do so much with property. My gosh. You can pull money out. You can do construction to make it be worth more. You can, send your kids or your grandchildren to school. You can use the RRR method and purchase other properties. Like there's so much. So you really have to think strategically if you're going to consider selling your house, right? But if you need to, if it's that time, if there's a reason why, if you have a strategic plan and it's time to sell, then we talk about that. But one of the things we talk about is list price. So sometimes the seller has an idea of what they want to sell for whatever reason, for what they think is worth. Maybe, they want to make a certain amount of money. This is what they've calculated in their brain. That's what they think is worth. That's okay. I kind of need to know that though, because I need to know where their mind is and what's going to satisfy the seller, because that's what this is all about. The seller's got to make money, right? That's what it's all about. So I take that number, I kind of plug it in the back of my mind. Then I whip out my seller net sheet. So if you're selling a home, y'all remember, if you're selling a home, make sure your agent is going to pull a seller net sheet for you. Make sure they're going to do a seller net sheet for you. That seller net sheet is going to have all your fees, charges, everything having to do with selling this property. So because it costs to sell a house. You're going to make money, but it costs to sell a house. So you take the price, your list price. So the term of the day for people who are just coming in, I'm doing my 50 terms in 50 days. Term of the day is list price. And we're talking about the difference between list price, asking price, selling price, and all that. So you take your list price, you put it in your seller net sheet that your agent should be providing for you. You plug in all of the fees that are going to be associated with your sale, because you're going to have to pay like taxes, you're going to have to pay commissions, you're going to have to pay transfer and recording fees. You have a lot that you have to take care of within that sale, right? So that's where the list price is going to get important, because that's going to determine how much you are going to make. So your list price then again is important. So what we do also is that we pull some comps. Now the term of the day 2 days ago, I think, was comparative market analysis, right? You pull a comparative market analysis. I think that was our term on day 2 or 3. You pull a comparative market analysis and you want to see what all the properties in the area are selling for. Once you see what the other properties in the area are selling for, then you can determine our term of the day, which is list price. So once you see, okay, this house is selling for $400, this one's selling for $420, this one's selling for $415. My house is smack dab in the middle of those. Maybe I'll list my house for $410, right? So that's where list price comes into play. So this is another thing. This 50 terms in 50 days is for a couple of people. This is for people who This is for people in the business and outside the business. This is for buyers, of course, so they can brush up on terms. It's for sellers, so they can brush up on terms. It's also for new agents who need to know these real estate terms. We're on day 6 of 50 terms in 50 days, and you need to know all of them, okay? You know all of them. So, new agents or even experienced agents, don't forget to do this part. When you determine your list price with your seller, ask about flexibility up front. Ask them about flexibility up front, because you need to know if this list price is a little off, are they going to be willing to negotiate? Because if they're not willing to negotiate, if they're not willing to make adjustments to that list price, you may just get stuck with a listing that you can't sell. And that you don't want. So make sure you talk to the seller early during your term where you're determining list price. Talk to them early and ask them, hey, are you going to be open to negotiating or adjusting this list price if this list price does not work for the market? Because this is the thing, the market will tell you whether your list price is on point or not. That's the thing. You know how they say a house is only worth what the market, meaning the buyers, thinks it's worth. You can determine your price all day long. Sometimes sellers get very emotionally attached to properties and they say, oh, my mama added this, or my daddy added that, or I did this, or I did that. And in their brain, that equates to value. That does not always transfer to a buyer. A buyer is going to look at it and say, okay, all these other houses around here selling for this, and that. I'm willing to pay that. They don't really get into all the little sentimental things that a seller did to the house. That the seller equates to a larger asking price, to a more expensive or higher list price. They don't. They look at the comps and they say, okay, well, this is what everything is selling for. This is what I'm buying for, right? So for new agents out there, make sure you talk to your seller about whether they are going to be flexible on that asking price or not. So that's it. I promised that I would not make these very long. My term of the day is going to be 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. I think we might be only at 8 or 9 minutes. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So for the new people that came in, this is my 50 terms and 50 days. I'll be back tomorrow for day 7. I can't believe it's been a week already. Almost a week. It'll be a week tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow at day 7. And I'm challenging myself because I have to get more discipline to achieve some more of the goals that I want to achieve for 2022. And part of that is pushing myself and giving more and helping more and teaching more because I have so much information up here that I don't do anything with, and that's not okay. So part of this is to push myself, and part of this is to push you all out there who are interested in what I have to say because, hey, maybe it's not your thing, but if it is, if you're interested in getting the bag through real estate, listen up. So I'm going to be doing this for 50 days. So that's it. I wish you a happy Sunday. Stay tuned to my for my word of the day tomorrow. I'm going to keep a secret on what it is because it's a good one. But I've written out all 50, and I actually added one, so I might have a bonus term. I was talking about something yesterday, and it kind of triggered my brain. Hey, maybe I should add that one. So I may actually have 51, but we'll see. I think there's going to be a bonus. Anyway, all right, y'all. I got to go. I got things to do. What they say, places to go, people to see, things to do. Okay, if you have any questions, you can always contact the Jackson team. You know how to reach me, 202-810-3730. Contact my team. You can email me at malikasaleshomes@gmail.com. My transaction coordinator will get you to me and me to you so we can talk and have a consultation. You can DM me, however you need to get at me, just get at me. I'll answer your questions. I am here to help. And that's it. Stay tuned for day 7 tomorrow. All right, bye.